Tarot. Thank you so much for being here, listening to my channel, letting me read for you. I'm always happy to be doing it, so thank you very much. This reading is really going to be about getting a sign to ensure that you're on the right path. So if you've been wondering if you're on the right path, if you're doing the right thing, if you should switch something up, this is hopefully going to confirm that you're on the right path. And if not, we're going to ask for some signs to know maybe where you should like deviate a little or try something new. I don't know, switch it up, we'll see. But I'm going to try to cram all this into a 5-minute reading per pile. So yeah, we're going to see how that goes. I have 4 different tarot decks, 1 card from each deck. This will be your signifier card. So really just pick the deck, the artwork that speaks to you. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here for you. And yeah, if one of these decks particularly jumps out, that's your pile. Pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. There'll be a timestamp in the comments to this, and yeah, take a minute, look it over, and we're gonna find out a sign that you are indeed on your right path. And we're gonna do it in around 5 minutes. So thank you so much. Look forward to seeing you and reading for you. Goodbye. Thank you so much for being here. This is Light and Bone Tarot, and we are doing a reading for signs that you are on the right path. So we are going to just get messages from Spirit to either help you get on the right path, help you stay on the right path, help you deviate away from a path that might not be the right path. Yeah, we're gonna get into it. So your signifier card for this pile is Knight of Wands, and there's like whenever I see the Knight card, there's this passion, it's like you want to rush in, you want things to happen right away, you would do anything to see this through, whether this is like for you right now, a relationship, work, career, a new venture, but this makes me think you are absolutely diving into something. There's a passion, you have passion that's directed towards something right now. You're definitely not living in this like passionless vacuum. You have something you want, you're doing it, you're talking about it, you're feeling it. And I do think if you're feeling this way right now, if you're feeling inspired by something, if you're feeling like, even if it's a feeling of like wanting to rush into something or be hasty, I think this is a sign that you're on the right path, or that this thing is something you should be giving your time and energy to. So again, it could be a relationship, or it could be like a creative venture, endeavor, something to do with like a business. I like both of those options, but I kind of like the latter, thinking that this is like you establishing yourself professionally, or yeah, like I said, creatively, something that's gonna make you a lot of money and success down the road or sooner than later. So let's get down this road and see. I want to see your path right now, and then we're going to ask Spirit for some guidance, and then we're just going to ask for some signs that you're absolutely on the right one. So here's the path you're on. We have 6 of Pentacles, King of Cups, and 4 of Wands. I always have to take a minute here and take it all in. The 6 of Pentacles makes me think that you're doing what you're doing. There was probably a lack at some point, or you realized, I really want to make more money. I really want more. If this is about a relationship with the 4 of Wands, you absolutely want to see more for yourself in this connected, romantic piece of your life. If this isn't about a relationship and this is about like work and career, you had this moment where you were like, I absolutely need more for my life. I will do whatever it takes, but I just need more. And I think with that, you want more to celebrate. You want more milestones. You want to feel like you're a part of this world. And I really feel like you're deeply searching for your passion and your place right now, whether, like I said, it's romantically or professionally. There's this kind of like this search for this passion. And even with the King of Cups, like you really want to get in charge of like in control of your feelings, but you want to feel your place. If you are in this like hunt for your kind of place in this world, your direction, I think you're on the right path. If you have this kind of craziness about you right now where you're like, I don't even know where to turn, I just know that like I want this so bad, I'll go after it at any cost. I just kind of see like that's where you're at. And your end goal is, yes, you want to hit these milestones, you want something to celebrate, you want to get there. But it is taking, I think it's taking a lot out of you. And I think that it's taxing, but I think this means you're on the right path. So let's ask Spirit if she thinks you are indeed on the right path right now in one card. And we've got the World. I think this is asking if you're on the right path. I think this is a great card. It tells me anything's possible right now with what you're doing. You are going down a path of probably infinite potential. It's really up to you. How do you want to, which direction do you want to go? And again, if you're confused right now and you feel like you don't know which way is up, I think this is a sign that you are going towards the thing you need to be going towards. And what that is, I don't know, but it means that you will figure this out. I think the confusion is here to kind of like almost push you and test you and make you search. And I do think it's a little bit emotional. I just think I think there's a lot of chaos in your world right now, but I think the World card is here to tell you like, look, this is it, and you can have what you want. Just somehow keep the focus. Okay, we're just after 5 minutes, but I want to get input from Spirit, and we've got the Star. I would say this is another pretty clear message to keep, not just wishing, but like keep that manifest piece of you, keep that going. Like really hold your sights and your energy and your thoughts on what you want. This is definitely a sign that you're going to get it, and I do think it can go for whatever it is that you want right now, whatever that piece of your life that feels incomplete. I really think you can achieve it. And we're going to get a gift from Spirit, so a good luck charm from Spirit on this journey of yours. And we have the Three of Wands. Keep going, keep pursuing, keep this energetic like portal open. Keep researching, keep looking out, keep doing this. This is definitely a card of action, much as the Knight of Wands is. It's fierce action. It's not looking back. It's just like keep your eye on the prize and go towards it. You will find yourself. You will be happier. You will achieve these milestones. And if there was this kind of like latent ick feeling from not knowing exactly your place or what you're doing, I really, really think you're on the right path. So yes, we went over 5 minutes, but this is a reading to say you are on the right path. And if chaos or confusion or that incredibly blah feeling is where you're at, it's a sign you're on the right path. Okay, I hope you liked this reading. And I get to read for you again. Thank you. Goodbye. Tarot, thank you so much for being here and letting me read for you. You picked pile 2, which is this tarot deck. It's lovely. It's one of my favorites. And the title of this is Signs That You Are on the Right Path. We're going to do this, I'm going to say between 5 to 10 minutes because they always go over 5. But here is your signifier card to know that you are indeed on the right path. And you really couldn't have asked for a better signifier card. This is the World. This is basically everything you want, it's yours kind of thing. I mean, which is really vague and actually tells us nothing, but it's an incredibly positive card to say, I know, but how does that really... Okay, this is your signifier card. So I would say right now, things are clicking for you. If you feel like things are good, you're on the right path, which is obvious. So let's get a little bit more, I would say if you're here at this reading and this was your pile, things are working out for you, or you are abnormally positive or hopeful, or you are seeing the rewards of things, because this is such an exciting card to represent you right now that it's positive. So maybe you needed that little positive beat to be like, okay, things aren't as bad as they seem. Okay, signs you're on the right path. Let's see here. Let's see your path right now. We have the Ace of Pentacles, Six of Swords, Nine of Pentacles. This really has so much to do, I would say, about career, about accomplishments. Whether this is you're with a company established, you want more, you're trying to establish yourself, you're going off on your own, something. There's so much here about like starting something and just wanting so bad to achieve that financial success piece. your path is about your growth professionally, and this growth leads to you having the things you want, buying the things you want, the home you want, living in the place you want. And if this is like a journey, I mean, this is a journey you're on, sure, but if it means that you have to like switch jobs or locations to get there, or career paths, this is definitely, I see like a transition, going from one thing that maybe you didn't love and transitioning into something that you think is going to be great. And maybe that's what the World card is all about. You kind of get that cloud nine feeling when you're like actively doing the thing that you felt you were supposed to do. So if you had this good feeling like, yes, I should leave my job, I should leave this relationship, I should actively pursue this thing, I feel like you're probably doing that, and you do feel on top of the world, and that tracks. And I would say like this path of yours is exciting, and the Nine of Pentacles tells me that you can absolutely achieve this sort of prosperity success piece out of this. Like accomplishments are going to be a part of this journey of yours. So I would say if you just switch something up and it does actually feel pretty good, you might have a million questions, it might feel crazy, but you're like, you have that rush that you get when you do something extreme, I would say this is definitely a sign that you're on the right path. Let's ask Spirit, let's ask her if you're on the right path right now, and see what comes up here. So we have Five of Wands. So I would say, I mean, we could take this as meaning Spirit's conflicted or you're conflicted. I don't think Spirit's conflicted. I think she's saying if you're feeling conflict, if you're feeling this kind of push and pull, this conflict, whatever that is, give and take, happy and sad, sweet and sour, whatever it is, yes, I still think this means you're on the right path. And although you might be riding this wave of like euphoria from doing something kind of extreme, and like I said, moving or switching something up, that still doesn't mean that you don't have moments where you're like, oh, fuck, is this right? Is this wrong? And I think this is a sign to say, yeah, if you feel a little bit conflicted, that's okay. I do think you're on the right path. And okay, let's get input from Spirit, and then we'll get a good luck charm. So here's Spirit's input for you. The Hierophant. This is something here about like seeking guidance. I guess don't be afraid to ask for help. Of course, there's always people that know more than you and are more accomplished in whatever field or way. So I would say this is definitely Spirit saying, don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help. If someone's offering it and maybe your pride might be getting in the way and not taking it, or maybe this comes with a price, like an actual price, a cost, maybe it's worth it, because I do think there's something saying that this other piece of information is going to benefit you. So consider taking it. And a good luck charm from Spirit about all this is the Chariot. So it's funny, there is definitely a piece here about confliction, and I think like potentially like moving in different directions, or this kind of this movement, this very much new beginning. Which way do I go? Which fork do I take? Yeah, I mean, this tells me that you are absolutely moving towards something. I do think that it might be a little confusing to you which direction to go, what exactly that is. Maybe you shook things up and you made this big change, and now there's this kind of like, okay, well now what moment? But you are doing, I think, what you're supposed to be doing here. I don't think changing anything or switching anything up was the wrong thing. I think the happiness you feel, or that kind of relief or joy or release, is absolutely what you should be feeling. And now you just really have to go all in and like drive yourself kind of relentlessly towards that one thing. Whatever that is, I just think this is confirmation that you should be moving towards it. And I really think this is what's going to bring you that, help you find your place, help you find your peace, help you be more successful, more accomplished, whatever that is. I think there's this kind of like monetary piece to that that's going to bring you some happiness and safety and just security. So yeah, keep moving. Definitely don't be afraid to ask for help, or advice or input of some kind, from someone who knows more. And yeah, this is, I read it's, you know, not incredibly clear, but I feel like if you're any of this tracks, just know you're on the right path. And if you're on the right path, then things are going to happen exactly as they're supposed to. And we like to think that's a good thing. So I hope this feels good and that you enjoy your journey. Thanks so much. Goodbye. You picked pile 3. This is your deck and your signifier card, and we are going to be doing a reading for signs that you are on the right path. So yeah, let's get right into it. Your card, your signifier card, this is you right now, and I certainly hope it tracks, is 7 of Wands. So I feel like so far all of these readings have really been about like accomplishments, success, monetary gain, work, that sort of thing. But I would say if you are just working your butt off right now, whatever, I mean, you're on the right path. If it even feels like maybe you're putting in all this hard work and you're getting nowhere, you're on the right path. So if you are, to this point, sitting on your couch most of the day thinking about what you want to do with your life, I don't think you're on the right path. So I think your path definitely involves action, and yeah, there's just, if you're not doing something to kind of build for your future, then you're not on the right path. But assuming you are on the right path, you're probably working hard and you're probably questioning how much longer is this going to go on for until you can start to see some rewards. So I want to see the path that you're currently on right now in a few cards. Page of Swords, 6 of Wands, Ace of Cups. This is just kind of like a fairly generic all over the board kind of thing here. I mean, there's just a little bit of everything here, but I don't think you're sitting around. You are probably thinking quite a bit about what it is I think you're still questioning what's going to make me happy. What direction do I move towards? What really is it that I want to do? I think you're very much opening yourself up to that, but you are working towards something. I think you need to fine tune a little bit. You know that you need to fine tune, of course, pieces of this and where you're actually going with this and maybe what like the end game is for you, but you are working towards something. And this, I see 6 of Wands, to me it's a card of recognition, it's of being seen. So I do think people are either like patting your back right now, like good for you, good for this hard work, good for turning your life around and finally doing something or whatever. I just feel like there's this part of you that's kind of shook things up a little, and maybe in a way that is noticeable. Like maybe you haven't always been the go-getter and you are, maybe you've been, I don't know, there's just, I feel like people can see, even if they're not talking to you, they can see like, oh yeah, you're working very hard. Maybe you look extra tired or extra fit, or I don't know, but they can just tell like, oh goodness, good for you. And you're mentally getting after it. You're, I think, physically getting after it. And the Page of Swords tells me, yeah, you want to take in as much as you can right now. Like you are, if you're not physically doing the work, you're, I think, like studying it and researching it and trying to figure out exactly where this takes you. So if this makes sense for you right now, then I think you're on the right path. And again, so many of these paths are about like starting a new venture, like an entrepreneurship or some creative piece that turns into something. I think there's a lot here about like building yourself up and having that be your business, your brand, a way to make money, something along those lines. But I definitely see that, yeah, it is hard work. And if you aren't doing this, start doing it, because your path is about hard work and that hard work will pay off. Let's ask Spirit right now if what you're doing is the right path, which I almost feel like we've already asked this, but let's ask Spirit what she thinks about your path right now. 3 of Wands, and I feel like the same card came up in the last pile, just with a different tarot deck. This is basically saying I wouldn't say keep searching, but keep asking questions, keep inquiring, keep climbing, keep doing this, like keep those question marks and I guess also exclamation marks, keep them there. This is also a card very much about action, about doing, and I really think like, yes, if you're in movement, you're on the right path. So that's what Spirit says, and just keep wanting more, keep striving. There's such a thing here from Spirit to keep it up. Okay, I want to get input from Spirit. This is kind of like guidance from Spirit, and we have 2 of Cups, and I like this under the Ace of Cups. It's a lot to do with like, it is either a romantic relationship or a friendship or someone you have a connection with, but definitely I think this is a don't lose yourself to this project or this phase. It is a finding happiness through friends, through connecting, through maybe getting out of your house, not staring at a computer screen, or not be so inwardly focused. Definitely just a message to get out and enjoy the company of others and share your, you know, your lovely self with friends, family, loved ones, whatever it is. But yeah, definitely a card to connect a little bit more externally. And now I want a gift from Spirit. This is her gift to you. And she is saying Knight of Coins, which is the Pentacles card. So much about getting after it, hard work. The Knight is, he's thinking about things, but it's absolutely plotting that next move. It is, and maybe it's to say, look, if you might quickly go into a phase where you don't have to work as hard, where you get to put a little more thought into it. Maybe you're going to get into the stage of like actually planning, and this is exciting for you. I don't know, like, you know, maybe you've been building this website forever and now you actually get to provide the content or do some of the work behind it. But anyway, there's just going to be maybe a shift in what this work looks like for you, but all the same, it is work, and I do think you want this. I think you've asked for this. So if this tracks and you feel like you're spinning your wheels and you're going crazy, but you're also kind of happy and ignited, and you're working towards something, then yes, you are on the right path. If things feel stagnant for you, if you feel uninspired, if you feel like you're really lost and confused, I would say you're on the wrong path, because this is very much a path, a spread of like action, doing, getting after the money, pursuing it. So yeah, maybe that's what you should be doing right now. And if you're not, start thinking about life from that angle. Okay, I hope this A, made sense, and B, I hope you liked it. Please like us. Please, oh my gosh, please watch other videos and like and subscribe if this tracked. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Thank you so much for being here and letting me read for you. We are doing a reading for signs that you are on the right path. So I'm going to hopefully confirm that what you're doing is the right thing. And then if what you're doing completely conflicts with the cards, then maybe it's a sign that you're on the wrong path. Like, for example, the last reading was like, if you are not in action or movement, if you're not working your ass off right now, you're on the wrong path. That's an example. Okay, let's see what we have. This is your signifier card for the pile. So this should be you and your energy right now. And it is Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles is also a card of putting work in. It's a card of almost like getting to a point where people can start to see your work. So this whole reading really is about like accomplishments. It's not so much about love and romance unless you're trying so hard to build, let's say, like a family right now or a solid relationship. I really feel this is like a card to say from your work and professional life, you should be creating something that others are starting to see. You should be getting recognized more or less for what you're doing. If you are not at a point where you've created anything that anyone has noticed or congratulated you on or patted your back on, I would, you know, take this with a grain of salt, but I would say you're not on the right path. I would say, like, for example, if you are in a thankless job that no one really sees you, I don't think you're on the right path. But if you are getting rewarded for your work, or if you're self-employed, or if you're starting some entrepreneurial direction or some creative work and people are starting to see you and recognize you and it feels good and you feel like you're actually building a foundation, then yes, you are on the right path. Also, I would say if you're doing something where you've been like completely kind of stagnant, where you haven't actually seen growth, there's been like no milestones, you've been at the same level for whatever's relative to you, maybe it's years, maybe it's months, then also a sign you're not on the right path. I think you should start like you should have started just checking some boxes and knocking some things out. This would be a sign you're on the right path. I spent half the reading talking about that. Okay, but this is going to be longer than 5 minutes, maybe 6 or 7. I want to see your path right now, and it'll help figure out if you're on the right one. Okay, Son of Swords, which we're going to call Page of Swords. This deck, every time I see a new deck for a while, I'm like, oh my gosh, what is it? Six of Pentacles and the Emperor. Okay, so I think this is, I guess, what your path kind of should be right now, is how I'm going to read this. You should be pretty in control of what you're doing. You really should be at a point where you can like make your own decisions and run with them. Maybe you're even at a point where you're like borrowing money, or you're talking with investors, or you're like really almost like specifically asking for things to help better your situation or your endeavor of sorts. Or maybe this is trying to, you know, sell whatever you have to clients. This could be developing like that, or I don't know, whatever your pitch is. Anyway, you should be at a point where like you're in control, you're calling your own shots, there's action here, there's swiftness, and there's like delivery. Things are happening, and you are either communicating to others in your profession that you want this, you need this, I'm doing this, hey, what do you think about this? Do you want this? Like, I help you, you help me kind of thing. If you're not, if none of this sounds like what you're doing right now, I would say you might not be on the right path. I almost feel like for you, and of course I could be wrong, it might not be so much that you're starting something new, but that you should be really at a point where you're like deeply developing where you are. There's this very much like this growth that's happening, this next steps, this kind of evolution of whatever you've been doing. You're starting to see real progress with it. People are saying like, oh wow, that's great, we finally got out of this slump we've been in, you've taken it to this level. So if you are not working entirely for yourself, that is where I think you should be at. And with this, you should be like at some manager or director level, someone that is, I mean, I don't know, calling the shot sounds so lame to say, but like just I don't know, higher up the food chain, I guess. Yeah, and so if you feel like you're constantly answering to everyone, if you have to ask permission for everything, if you have to run ideas by someone, I just don't think you're on the right path. And if you couldn't even imagine what you would pitch or what you would ask for if you wanted something, then I also think that's a sign that you're probably uninspired and not on the right path. And I just realized how kind of random this reading is. Like, who am I to tell you you're not on the right path? But I'm asking Spirit for this input, and you know what, if it tracks, it could be a great sign one way or the other for you. So I hope something tracks here. Okay, this reading is going to go longer than I thought, so let's now ask Spirit yes or no in a card if you're on the right path. And she says the Seven of Cups. I really can't get a yes or no out of this. This could go either way. This is definitely a card of like a dreamer, a hoper, a wisher, a wanter. So you could be dreaming up this amazing thing and actually doing it, or you could be at a point where you're just hoping something happens and there's no real action behind it. I can't get a read on this. This is a very blurry card, but I will say this. I really, at the very least, it tells me you should have your eye on some kind of prize. There should be something you could speak to where you're like, in a perfect world, I would have this. I'd be working on this right now. So I really hope this can at least speak to some dream or want or something that you're going towards right now. And again, if you can't think of anything right now, if you're in a job that's so soulless or empty or uninspiring that you're like, I don't freaking care how much of XYZ we sell, or if my team even accomplishes this goal, if it means nothing to you, then maybe you're not on the right path. And by that, I mean like, maybe there's another career or profession or company or team or whatever that you should be a part of. So consider that. We're going to get input from Spirit. This is her guidance to you. Three of Cups. Definitely something about collaboration, partnerships, friendships, trust, love, community. So if definitely not a card of feeling isolated. This is a card of like finding your crew, finding your team, your people, or collaborating, asking for help, working together. There's just, this can mean so many different things, but maybe, you know what, maybe there's someone that you've been talking to about starting a business with, or yeah, starting some kind of collaboration with. This could absolutely be a card to be like, this is something you should be working towards doing. And if you are doing it, then 100% you're on the right path. And by 100%, I mean, who knows, you know, It could be negative 100% too. I mean, really, not for me to say, but this is the vibe I'm getting from the cards. Okay, and one more card. This is Gift from Spirits. Ooh. This is the Three of Swords. And since we asked for a gift, it's going to be a good thing. I don't know, I am trying to figure out a good thing with the Three of Swords, because this is generally a card of like, you know, heartbreak, of just mental torment. Things are, I don't know, just bleak. I guess if you are feeling like you are healing yourself from within, if you had a hurt heart, if you've been stressed or anxious and you feel like you aren't feeling those things, yes, definitely a sign that you are on the right path. But if you are feeling any kind of ick within your heart or your mind, and this is like real ick, this isn't just like, oh, I don't know what I want for dinner. It's more of like a deep melancholy and beyond, then consider switching some things up and taking some of the advice that I said here. Start dreaming, start thinking things up, start finding a way, a partnership, a place to kind of lift you so that you're starting to do things. But okay, without spiraling here, I really hope this tracks and that this helps you figure out if you're on the right path. And if you liked this, please like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it, and comment too if you feel like it. Thank you so much. Goodbye.